Hey guys, I'm really sorry about the last video. My camera ended up dying on me like right when I finished reading one of the Dead by Daylight 9.2.0 like little things. So I remembered, thankfully I have remembered where I was and like the last thing that I read. Um, I filmed or I charged the camera for like a couple hours, did a number of other things, and thankfully I think we're good to go now. So I'm just gonna kind of keep going. If you haven't seen part one, it uploaded an hour before this one. I like to, if I have to split up a video due to my camera, I always like to put both parts out the same day, but with a little bit of time in between them, just to kind of hopefully let both have a chance of like getting picked up by the algorithm. But yeah, without further ado, let's get back to it. Fixing the issue where the Knight's Guard would not despawn when a survivor picked up the standard. Interesting wording. Fixing the issue where certain Nightfall VFX would not display from the spectator POV when watching the dredge. Fixing the issue where the Nemesis Tentacle Strike could hit survivors crouching behind windows. Fixing the issue where the Knight's Guard would struggle to navigate between tables and chairs in a very fast-paced pizza map. Fix the issue where the hillbilly could completely turn around when breaking a door while using the low pro shoes on. Just get that going again. Fix the issue where the animatronic would slide toward the hook from another survivor's perspective when hooking a survivor. Fix the issue where the knight's jailer would have a delay before beginning to chase a survivor. Fix the issue where the animatronic's fire axe would disappear from a survivor upon entering and leaving a locker. Fix the issue where security doors would not be hardwired until the animatronic enters one while a survivor is teleporting. Fix the issue where the lich will display unselected spells after quickly choosing several. Fix the issue where smoke color would display incorrectly in the spectator's HUD when watching the clown. Fix an issue where the lich's dispelling sphere could become stuck on its model. Fix an issue where the knight's guards would take a longer than intended path when a survivor vaulted. Fix an issue where broken keys obtained from the lich's treasure chest would not work. Fix an issue where the executioner's punishment at the damn trail VFX would appear off-centered. Fix an issue where survivors afflicted with the animatronic's fire axe could not unhook other survivors. Fix the issue where the unknown's lobby animation was missing. Fix an issue where some of the Knight's Guard's animations would not trigger properly. Fix the issue where the cloud's left arm would wiggle while moving on. Fix the issue where the cloud's afterpiece and the tonic clouds would not properly go inside check doorways. Fix an issue where the beginning of animatronic's Morty would not play properly. Fix an issue where the pig's reverse bear trap would not trigger correctly when using portals in the Forgotten Ruins map. Fix an issue where the ghoul could anchor himself during a Kaikane leap, allowing him to move abnormally fast. Environment / maps. Fix an issue in the Badham preschool map where players could not drop through a hole. Fix the issue in the underground complex map where invisible collisions location of players. Fix an issue in the Wrecker's Yard map where the vault and the crane was not working. Fix an issue in the Red Forest realm where an invisible collision blocked the navigations of the players. Fix an issue in the Grim Pantry map where a collision blocked the navigation players. Fix an issue in the Ironworks of Misery map where players could not vault a window. Fix an issue in the Tubbo landing map where projectiles would hit an invisible collision near the fence. Fix an issue in the Nostromo wreckage map where players' navigation could be blocked. Perks. Fix an issue where knockout would remain inactive after dropping a fragile pallet. Fix an issue where the first wiggle skill check after being grabbed off a generator by survivor with an unknown presence would be smaller than intended. Fix an issue where finesse would not go on cooldown if a vaulted pallet was destroyed by a killer's power. Fix an issue where survivors' auras were not revealed to the killer when Bloodborne was equipped. Fix an issue where leaving a locker with head-on could be blocked by another survivor. Fix an issue where players could get stuck when using plot twists at the same time they were grabbed by the animatronic. Fix an issue where inner strength would deactivate early if the survivor exit the locker before the kill was triggered. Oh my god. Platforms. Fix an issue where input settings were incorrectly applied to newly created accounts. Fix an issue where voiceovers would play in English instead of console language when available. Fix an issue where haptic feedback was missing for some of the shapes actions when using a PS5 controller. UI. Fix an issue where the Lisa Garland outfit was missing an earring in her in-game portrait. Fix an issue where the Fire Wings would not show up on the Wraith's Phantom of Vengeance outfit in the store icons. Fix an issue where quest tooltips would still show their prerequisite quest needs despite being already unlocked. Fix an issue where declining a party join request would not send a confirmation pop-up to the requesting player. Fix the issue where the matchmaking pop-up would display the wrong text. Improved animated smoke shader on tooltips. Fix an issue where some quest progression pop-ups would be missing after a disconnection. Fix an issue where the killer power in the HUD would display an incorrect charge while spectating. Fix an issue where the shareable perk and prestige tooltips would not trigger correctly after a character's prestige in the blood web. Fix an issue where the player's name could disappear in the custom game lobby after switching from killer to survivor. Fix an issue where the player's name would overlap with the perk preview in the lobby. Miscellaneous. Fix an issue where the game could soft lock on the tally screen. Fix an issue where spamming the ready button could result in a connection error message. Fix an issue where the fragile palette animation would not transition from the down to upright position. Fix an issue where fog vial VFX would display incorrectly when failing after use. When falling after use. That makes more sense. Fix an issue where some users could not unlock the Lost All Hope achievement / trophy. Fix an issue where some users could not unlock the complete the evolution achievement / trophy. Fix an issue where the shrill whistle key add-on did not reduce the item's channel's time. Oh god, there's still so much. Okay. Changes from PTB. New pillar, the Crossu, new killer power. It's been so long I don't really remember like any more changes. Sometimes in PTBs, when I'm reading the patch notes afterwards, I kind of remember, but this one I didn't remember at all. I think I've just been so busy and whatnot that I just haven't even had time to like think about this stuff in a while. Alright, so it looks like we're starting with the Krazu, so let's do this. Intestinal whip will now ignore obstructions for 0.6 seconds. Shorten the wind up of intestinal whip to 0.2 seconds with 0.45. Increase intestinal whip turn rate to 320 was 150 to 220 was 150. Decrease the initial number of glowing fungus to 4 was 6. The maximum number to 8 was 10. Decrease corporal weave time to shift from head form to body form 2.2 seconds was 2.6 seconds. Increase vault time on head form to 1.7 seconds was 1.5. Increase the initial number of headlong flight charges to 12 was 10. Oh, they made that last longer. That's cool. Add a collision with survivors during headlong flight. And the ability to vault during headlong flight at the cost of ending the action. Added input buffering on head form abilities. New killer add-ons first libretto. Increased headlong flights consumption rate to 30% was 20. Wriggling parasite increased. The growth rate to at least 2 to 16% was 10%. Removed the cleansing rate increase. Crumpled sheet music increased the number of charges gained to 12 was 10. Chicken head now spawns 2 additional glowing fungus at the start of the match. Framed newspaper decreased the number of charges gained to 6 was 10, and the rectangle and the recharge rate to 50% was 24%. Yeah, rectangle. I'm stupid. That's wide increased the braking and damaging speed to 50% was 10. Mysterious elixir windows will also be blocked if you vault in body form. New killer perks, Wandering Eye. Increased range of aura revealed at 20 meters from 1662. So they did buff it a little bit. That's nice. New survivor, V Bunusek, new survivor perks.
Patrick, your Penny Max loan expert, here to show you a simple way to get to the bottom of that big question about how.
Shut up. Road life. Lower tokens needed for healing speed effects. The effect to 654 from 876. Lowered token lost on missed skill checks to 111 from 222. Oh yeah, that's right. That one's just not happening. Features. Tunneling reduction update. Postpone these changes until a later date to allow for further testing. For those of you who don't know, they announced this while the PTB was still going, that they would do this. A lot of people online on like TBD community posts, and like a lot of people online kind of during the PTB failed to failed to see this. But yeah, the reception of slugging and tunneling, I want to say slugging was the one that people had less problems with, but people had such problems with both tunneling and slugging during the PTB that behavior, I think it was like 3 or 4 days after the PTB went live, they announced, I know on, I know Instagram and I think like Facebook and probably X and a number of other places, that they would, that you would no longer be allowed to, or that they were basically cutting this because people's reactions were so negative, and they were negative because a lot of people felt like killers were getting punished like way too hard. I don't like this meme that a lot of people seem to say of the fact that basically there's like this meme that behavior hates killers, and that killers are really bad and stuff. The quick TLDR race, why I don't like it is because behavior themselves, a couple of times it said that the game is intentionally killer sided, and they every so often will do a big update that makes the killers more more likely to win. I have stopped liking this game, just as an example, ever since the 40 perk rework, because that's when the killer win rate went to 60% of matches. So it went from, I think, 51-49 to 60-40. And ever since then, my personal experience with this game has been very, very negative. I've had a horrible experience just because of getting paired with like really good survivors if I play killer, but then if I play survivor, I get absolutely dunked on by the killer, and I just don't really have fun. So it's been nice I've been unable to play the game. But yeah, so I don't really personally like the meme, and a lot of people were like using that meme and saying that behavior hates killers because of the update. One that's not true at all. It's technically, if you want to be technical about it, it is more accurate to say that behavior actually hates survivors. It doesn't want survivors, to have fun or whatever. That's obviously not true, but I feel like that's a better argument that makes more sense, considering they intentionally make this game killer-sided, but they don't make it intentionally survivor-sided. But yeah, so because of people complaining so hard that it didn't do enough to benefit killers, even though it did a ton of stuff already to benefit killers, and I'm not a killer expert, I'll admit the bots kicked my fucking ass during the PTB, so I didn't get to say anything. So I was watching Orange's videos, because Orange is actually a lot better at killer, so I was watching Orange's videos to kind of get an idea as to what was going on. And gotta say, Orange made a lot of sense, and he, and whatnot, and, he was able to show a lot better than I could, kind of like some of the problems with him and whatnot, and I felt like his thoughts were a little bit better on it than mine are. But yeah, so they gutted it far before this, but a lot of people just seemed unaware. Reverted the perk changes associated with this update. Notably, Babysitter, Barbecue and Chili, Borrowed Time, Eruption, Pop Goes to Weasel, and Scare Trick Pain Restless. And I believe all of that is because those were all perks that were supposed to be a part of the tunneling, like incentives and whatnot. But because everybody hated it and thus they had to postpone it, they just they just gave those perks all their, put them back to their normal times before they essentially took time away from them for like base kit reasons. Slugging reduction update. Postpone these changes until a later date to allow for further testing. Developer note: we've heard your feedback, and this will be making changes. And we'll be making changes to this feature before it goes live. You can expect it to reappear with adjustments in future PTB.
Buy one Sonic Smasher and get another free. That's right, buy one hand
Behavior. If you actually did what people wanted, I feel like this wouldn't be that big of a deal, but instead you decide to piss off everybody. Don't waste our motherfucking times. But yeah, I hope whenever they bring those back, they actually figure out a good balance between survivor benefits and killer benefits and whatnot. Killer updates, the shape, rework, increased movement speed while activating Evil Incarnate to 3.45 meters a second with 2.3 meters a second, increased the minimum movement speed while charging Sonic Strike to 3.22 meters a second with 2.3 meters a second. If there's anything in here that I hope they address, it's that I personally had a really hard time controlling the Slaughtering Strike. I felt like it was tricky to turn. Of course, other people had no issues with it, so fuck me, I guess. But if they mentioned something in this about that, and about like it being easier and whatnot, I would be so happy. Decreased base duration of Soaring Strike to 0.5 seconds with 0.875 seconds. Decreased maximum bonus duration of Soaring Strike to 1 second with 1.25 seconds. Increased the launch duration, breaking speed, and stun recovery bonuses in Pursuer mode to 20% with 10%. Increased the vault speed bonus in Pursuer mode and Evil Incarnate mode to 20% with 15%. The shapes add-ons. Glass Fragment decreased the charge speed penalty to 10% with 25%. Fragment Tuft of Hair decreased rarity uncommon was visceral. Reflective Fragment increased rarity the very rare was uncommon. Scratched Mirror increased rarity the visceral was very rare. The Dark Lord's add-ons, Medusa's Hair increases the ratio of the hitter stats effect to 4 seconds was 2 seconds. Bug fixes, miscellaneous, oh god. I apologize for all the yawning, guys. I've mentioned this in videos a number of times, but when I'm just sitting here reading a wall of text, I just uncontrollably yawn. And I always feel bad about it because I don't mean to be, but it is what happens. bug fixes, miscellaneous. Fix an issue where voiceovers for V Benusec would not playing in some situations. Fix an issue where set the touch could apply exhausted outside of the tear radius. Fix an issue where hex deferred seal triggered whenever losing any health state instead of just basic or special attack hits. Fix an issue where the animatronic's fire axe would appear on the ground during the remove axe interaction. Fix an issue where the hitter size effect stacked when repeatedly failing to hack when a skill merchant's drones. Fix the issue where the clairvoyance perk icon would light up briefly when the charge was used completely. Fix the issue where chase and other sound effects would not trigger when hitting an idle survivor. Fix the issue where the ghoul could be launched far away from a survivor after performing a second Kagane leap. Fix the issue where the twins Victor's attack would not affect unhooked survivors. Fix the issue where survivors would get a speed boost if they entered the dying state while conviction was active. Fix the issue where the artist's crows would spin when viewed from the survivor's POV. Fix the issue where the cursed stats effect would not appear when survivors were cursed by any hex perk. Fix the issue where the shape could not move the camera during Siren Strike when using a controller. Fix the issue where the 1, 2, 3, 4 perk would stack with other survivors using the same perk. The Krazu, fix an issue where the stun sound effects would not play correctly for the Krazu while in head form. Fix an issue where the wrong volume animation could play when the Krazu vaults after switching the head mode. Fix an issue where the Krazu's killer power icon charges would briefly flicker when using your power. Fix an issue where a blood splatter would appear on screen when the Krazu searched the locker. Fix an issue where the Krazu's tentacle would clip through the survivor's back during her mori. Fix an issue where the Krazu could be blinded by a flashlight despite looking up or down. Fixation where the survivor's hands remain closed when performing interactions after previously holding a glowing fungus. Fixing an issue where the crosser's impact sound effects were missing when performing an intestinal whip on objects. Fixation where the vault interaction was present and unable and usable while the crosser was using headlong flight. Fixation where the least tentacles remained visible while dying on the hook. Fixation where the crosser's framed newspaper add-on increased headlong flight recharge rate by 50%. Fixation where only one survivor aura was revealed per glowing fungus using the crosser's shredded gown add-on. Fixation where the crosser's wriggling parasite add-on had no effect. Fixation where the crosser could not move the camera during the intestinal whip attack when using a controller. Fixation where the timing of the crosser's mori was off when starting the mori while in head mode. Fixation where the crosser's intestines were missing during and after the mori when started while in head mode. Fixation where the crosser could vault windows faster than normal in head mode. Fixation where the crosser's intestinal whip would not trigger properly when moving forward. Fixation where survivors could push the crosser when eating a glowing mushroom. Fixation where the decimated Borgo realm where the crosser's camera would clip through trees. Fixation where the crosser's split sidestep score event was rewarded without meeting the conditions. Fixation where the crosser could not vault over a pallet when a survivor was using any means necessary. Fixation where the crosser could vault at locations being used by survivors. Known issues. The in-game trailer for Sinister Grace is louder than anticipated, and the audio will be reduced in a future update. And now that we have finally took 2 videos because of my camera, but now that we have finally finished reading the patch notes, let me give you my final thoughts. Overall, I think a lot of overall I'm pretty happy with it. I'm not an expert by any means. In fact, I kind of suck at this game at points. But overall, I think a lot of the stuff that they have coming with this are good and will hopefully be of good fixes, and I think the new killer sounds pretty good. I think Michael sounds pretty good. I think all the other killers that they touched sound pretty good.
If it feels like your phone hasn't changed.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, ring the bell, do all the aggregate garbage. It helps us out a lot. It means a lot to us. I'll see you guys next video. Bye.